Starting to be a bit weird, to be honest. Now, I woke up this morning. I did all my worky things. I looked at myself in the mirror. I had a shower. I had a shave, and I started to notice the change a bit more. Now, I think my biggest problem is that I only ever get to see myself kind of in the mirror like this, and I always constantly see the double chin, and I have in my mind's eye how I think I look. And I just wanted to hop on and have a chat, basically, hoping that I'm not the only one that has this kind of problem. I, for so many years, have been the friend that's been overweight. I, for so many years, have been the dad or the brother, yeah, the friend in the friend group that's always been the big lad with the big personality. And this is something that I've learned from. I always had to be sarcastic and always had to be quick witted. Um, why? Because that's just how my family worked anyway. My dad was very quick witted, and you kind of get trained in that way. And then it turned into a defense mechanism stroke skill. Um, I can think of my feet quite well. I'm good at analysing things. Um, I can be brutal. Um, in kind of quick-witted jousting sessions. Um, so whenever people kind of picked on me for being fat, I could always just bounce it off because, yeah, go on, throw the one thing that everyone's been throwing at me for 20 years. Don't you think I've already had a lot of practice at telling people to go fuck themselves? Now, that has led to me having a perceived sorry, words aren't working well today. I had a preconceived idea in my head of what life is and what I feel I happen to be. So when I did the time lapse for my weight loss at the end of last year, a couple of weeks ago, I didn't realize how much it would strike me to see the double chin that I used to have and the jawline that I have now. I think I still have in my head that I'm fat. Um, Also, I have to kind of remind myself that I started at 27 stone, which is very large. I lost 6 stone, which has helped me move from very large into large. And I still have a paunch, right? Which I struggle with at times that, okay, well, I've lost 6 stone. Surely that should have gone. No, well, you kind of have to realize that, I put this weight on over 20 years. I'm not going to lose it in one. I did a very good job and I should be proud of what I did last year. But I also need to, be realistic that it's going to take a while. But I also struggle to associate myself with that other person now. Is this body dysmorphia? Is this just mindset? Is it anchoring bias? When you see a friend that you haven't seen in like 5, 10 years and they've changed. Um, Either body type or personality or accent and your brain has a wiggle. You're like, hang on, that's weird. Um, and it can even be the fact that I've lived in Yorkshire now for 16 years. I was born and raised in Kent. So last time I saw some of my best friends from Kent was 16, 17, 20 years ago. Well, before I had a depressive moment when I was in my um, early teens. I'd lost my dad. I was struggling with debt. I'd had bad relationships. I kind of distanced myself with people. Um, so last time I saw some of my best friends down there, they were 19, 20, 21 year olds. Now they're going to be 40-year-olds. So they're going to be versions of themselves that I haven't seen in a long while, whether they are older, whether they are greyer, whether they've put on weight, lost weight, whether they are jowly, whether they are stressed, any scars that they have or haven't got, whether they've got a tan, that kind of thing. So this is where me associating myself with myself from 12 months ago is a weird feeling. Like, it looks like me, it talks like me, but it's not me anymore, and it feels weird. I'm not sure if this video is making any sense at all. So, quick weight update. I lost 6 stone last year. Started at 27 stone, finished at just shy of 21 stone. I was pleased with that. I hopped on the scales at the start of this week, and I'm down to 20 stone and 8 pounds. So that's a half stone loss already this year, and I'm happy with that. Long-term goal, I'd like to lose another 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6 stone. Six stone is a stretch. That would be 12 stone since starting. 6 stone would put me down to 14 stone, and I've not been 14 stone since I was, I don't know, probably 16, 17 years old, because I was always a big lad. So we'll see. But things are going well, and the year started off well. It's positive, everything's going well. I'm landing new clients, I'm feeling positive and engaging. As you can see, my son's been in my house and taken all of the leaves off of my fake tree. And we've had a cold start to the year, in which, as a kind of nice reminder, I struggled with the heating of the house and myself because I didn't have that additional 6 stone worth of padding. I didn't have that problem before. And you don't realise how much that padding helps. Now, what I'm also going to do is, once I've lost £100, is I'm going to go and try and find a place that I can find £100 that I could lift and put in a backpack. And then I can visualise the weight that I've lost and actively feel the difference. Because what you don't realise is, obviously, I've lost 6 stone, which is 83, 86 pounds, something like that, right? I was carrying that around all the time, every step, every walk, every sit up, every sit down, every roll out of bed, right? And now that I've lost it, I'm intrigued to see what it feels like if I now could have held that weight, and see what it does to my knees and my backs now that it's not on me. It's quite interesting brain experiment. So maybe subscribe to see how that goes, and tell me, have you struggled with body image? Do you understand my weird madness? Because maybe I'm just insane. Sat here on my sofa, surrounded by silver play buttons and a cat that meows at the door because it can't be bothered to push the door, you fat bitch! Right. Tally-ho. Boop.